What makes a champion? It starts with desire. Then you need determination, because only one has the will to win. Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. Come and engage in the experience of the 2014 Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. The Toyota SWAC Football Championship. It all goes down on Judgment Day. For more information, visit www.swac.org. Honor the heritage.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas to form a sturdy, spirited association. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. From the southeastern region of the United States and Alabama to the second largest state in the country in Texas, the parishes of Louisiana through the Mississippi River, and the natural state of Arkansas, students from all over the world demonstrate the ability to perform, achieve, and excel in scholastic activities. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. Create your world of contacts and friendships that last a lifetime. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We will always carry a spirit of respect and competition. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Childhood pneumonia claims the lives of over 2 million children every year, but fresh hope is at hand. One pioneering scientist is using nanobiotechnology to isolate, target, and cure this global killer. When Dr. Sri Singh isn't fighting the world's deadliest diseases, he's teaching biology at ASU. When we teach class, the world takes note.
If you are looking for exciting academic programs, Southern University is the place for you. Southern University has maintained its legacy of excellence for more than a century by offering top-notch programs like nursing, business, and engineering. So join the thousands of graduates who call SU home and enjoy all the wonderful opportunities offered at Southern University and A&M College.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Seymour Gymnasium. We are on the campus of Southern University, and it is time for SWAC Championship Volleyball. Robert Williamson, Dr. Dwala Fisher. Dr. Fisher, boy, this is an exciting atmosphere. You've got a team that is on a roll at Southern University, and you got a team in Alabama State that has been on a roll.
Great. it's great. This is the point that everybody comes to. Everybody wants to get to that championship. And the good thing about it is when SWAC starts, everybody's back at 0-0. So it's anybody's ball game. And Southern proved that, and they're here in the championship match.
Let's talk about some of the players we can expect to perform and perform well. First of all, for Alabama State, Mila Marshall and Rachel Smith.
Mila Marshall, she's leading the conference, all conference stats in field. So we're going to look to have great things from Mila Marshall.
And for the ladies that play for Southern University, we of course have Penny Lucas White and Vanessa Jacobs, the coach. But the coach, Vanessa Jacobs, has got some standouts in Diamond Williams and Marisol Macias.
She's looking to make sure that she continues doing that, while Diamond is going to be that defensive support that they need.
And let's talk about those coaches. I like both of them. Obviously, they are here. They've done an excellent job.
Both coaches, they are not new to playing volleyball. Although this is Coach Jacobs' second year, she's still has a long history of volleyball. And we already know Coach Lucas White's stats, they are phenomenal. So this proves to be a great match.
Southern University, if they win the opening match, that's it. They're the champs. If Alabama State wins, we've got another one at 7 o'clock. We get this one underway momentarily, back after this on the SWAC Digital Network.
Boy, you gonna be in trouble this evening. You got a good man in front of you.
What makes a champion? It starts with desire. Then you need determination, because only one has the will to win. Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. Come and engage in the experience of the 2014 Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. The Toyota SWAC Football Championship. It all goes down on Judgment Day. For more information, visit www.swac.org. Honor the heritage.
Childhood pneumonia claims the lives of over 2 million children every year, but fresh hope is at hand. One pioneering scientist is using nanobiotechnology to isolate, target, and cure this global killer. When Dr. Sri Singh isn't fighting the world's deadliest diseases, he's teaching biology at ASU. When we teach class, the world takes note.
If you are looking for exciting academic programs, Southern University is the place for you. Southern University has maintained its legacy of excellence for more than a century by offering top-notch programs like nursing, business, and engineering. So join the thousands of graduates who call SU home and enjoy all the wonderful opportunities offered at Southern University and A&M College.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas to form a sturdy, spirited association. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. From the southeastern region of the United States in Alabama to the second largest state in the country in Texas, the parishes of Louisiana through the Mississippi River, and the natural state of Arkansas. Students from all over the world demonstrate the ability to perform, achieve, and excel in scholastic activities. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. Create your world of contacts and friendships that last a lifetime. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We will always carry a spirit of respect and competition. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
It is a delight for the SWAC Digital Network to be here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, on the campus of Southern University, the Clifford Seymour Gymnasium. Dwala Fisher, as we look across to the opposite side of the floor, we can see the upper tier. It's packed. I've got a feeling if we were able to look behind us, we would see the same. And the atmosphere is electric.
It is. We have fans, we have parents, we have siblings, we have staff. Everyone's on hand so that they can just witness what's about to happen.
How much of an advantage is it for the Lady Jaguars to be playing on their own home floor?
I think it's really a small advantage because back when, in 20 years ago, you know, we rotated volleyball championships to every conference. So we just went to every team. So this is just kind of like returning back to our roots. So it's exciting.
I was looking back on the championship games over the course of the years, and there has been either an Alabama or a Texas team in the championship almost every year since the onset, but especially over the last decade and a half.
Well, I think so. I think Alabama A&M, you know, they set that standard for the past 5 to 6 years, and I think Alabama State says they just wanted a turn, so they're taking their turn.
But you know, there were people this year who thought there just might be a Texas and an Alabama team in the championship. We thought maybe Texas Southern a possibility. They came in as the #1 seed out of the West, but that didn't happen.
Yes, you know, again, like I said, when you get to that championship tournament, it begins 0-0 again. So it's all fair.
Double elimination. If you've got to go to a second match tonight, I mean, this isn't like baseball, softball, where you got a doubleheader. This is where you are accelerating, you are jumping, you are really expending energy. If you've got to go to back-to-back matches, or isn't that going to be difficult?
Back-to-back is always difficult, but that's what they train for in the preseason. You know, we train for 5. You train for 5 sets. You hope to play 3, but you train for 5.
Well, there's a possibility, I guess, we could have 10 today, so
I'm sure that no coach is hoping for that.
Well, I guarantee you there's one coach, though, that is, and that's Penny Lucas-White today, because you've got to have those 10 if you're Alabama State to win the SWAC Championship. And we get this one underway. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for Alabama State, Scott Wansang, she is the 5'6" sophomore from Prosper, Texas. Ellen Jones is a 5'9" senior from Indiana. Mila Marshall, we talked about in the pregame, the 6' junior, calls Memphis, Tennessee home. Rachel Smith is a 5'10" junior from the other side of the country in California. Amber Bennett at 6'11". She is a product of this area, Baton Rouge. And Brianna Dorsey, the 6' freshman, is from Fort Worth, Texas.
Southern has come out, playing on their home court. And they're leading 2-0.
Quick advantage as we take a look at the starting lineups. Long on the serve. And that service error turns into the first point for Alabama State. For the Jags, it is Melanie Malone, a 5'6" sophomore from Fort Worth. Marisol Macias, who is an outside hitter from El Paso, Texas. Janisa Ekwirari, she is a sophomore, a junior from Garden City, Kansas. Phelan Clark is a sophomore from Cedar Hill, Texas. And Leilani Ima'afeo.
San Antonio, Texas. You did well.
I'll
did
try
well.
to get
I'm
a little
excited.
faster a little later on.
I'm excited. And just like that, Alabama State has come back and they've taken the lead.
And that lead is won. 3-2 advantage as Rachel Smith will serve. And there's the start of something good or something bad. In this particular case, the bump pass from Diamond Williams, the libero, the sophomore from Fort Worth, Texas, not a good one. But isn't that where it all starts?
Yes, the pass. The pass that killed. Everything begins with a pass. They're serving pretty long in this court, so they're going to have some high floating balls that everybody's going to have to return.
Outside hit going cross court, and there is the kill administered by Janisa Ekwirari.
That was awesome. That was a great set. It started with that pass, and then she found the right height, and she just put it down.
Serve goes back over to the Jags. Bump to the front court outside hit. Drops in, we're tied again.
She used the block off the inside, and she just kind of roll shot that one to an empty spot.
Back set, tied at 4, too long. How long does it take, or is butterflies an issue here? I mean, you played all day yesterday, you played this morning. Do you have butterflies coming into the championship?
Most certainly, most certainly. Butterflies, it's a championship game. Both teams, one team know there's nothing after this. And everybody's trying to get to the NCAA first round. So you're playing for that. And that's emotional as well as physical. Appears that there was a controversial call, but referee says that it's Southern's ball.
Picked up on the opposite side by Jamie Coleman, who's a 5'8" sophomore, inserted into the lineup for Alabama State.
She comes right in and hits straight down the line. Line shots are going to be important because it seems as though that our defense for Southern is playing cross court.
Picked up on the opposite side by Jones. Sent back across to Macias. And then you've got a whistle.
Double hit, double contact. She didn't quite get up under that ball, so therefore her set had a double contact, and the ref saw the same.
Back set into the net.
Little low. Set was a little low. But Southern is clicking on all cylinders. They're passing, they're setting. Now they just need to execute. Alabama State is taking advantage as well.
Sent down the line, and it ricochets off Marshall.
That's another line shot. I think both teams are blocking for cross, and they're going to have to make some adjustments in order to pick up that line hit.
Providing the serve, Melanie Malone. And Malone won't watch it come back over to the Southern U side of the floor.
That's an ace. Defender couldn't quite handle that one.
It goes out.
Ace again. Alabama State's going to have to regroup and see who's going to take that pass so that they can get a good set.
Southern University playing their best volleyball at the end of the year, and you as a coach, you know that you want your team peaking at the right time, and this appears to be the right time for the Lady Jags.
Most definitely. I think it started with their win against Texas Southern, and then they went on to beat Prairie View to end their conference season, their conference play, and then they were on their way here. We now have Brooke Beasley serving for Alabama State.
Brooke Beasley is a senior 6-footer. Winfield, Alabama is home. Is that a miscommunication? You've got two vying for the same shot.
But Brooke was smart. She came in, she's setting the ball, and she's going to strategically place that ball so that she can get kills from her hitters.
Brooke Beasley with a shot across the bow. Macias sends it down the line, one in the corner, can't find it.
Those are the kind that hurt when you bump past a ball out of bounds. Southern needs to regroup.
Continuing to serve is Beasley. Slapped over by Macias, but I guess when everything is working right, it's working right.
Find the hole. As volleyball players, we teach them, don't hit to where the person is, hit to where the hole is.
Lead grows to 1. Back to serve. Leila E. Matefalo.
There you go. Got it.
May not be right, but I'm smoother on the
pronunciation. That was a great slide. Great back set. She came around. Everybody knew what she was going to do, but you just never know whether she's going to hit cross or whether she's going to hit line. That's the advantage to that attack.
Scott Wine saying to serve. Do you change your style? Let's go to the thought that if you're Alabama State, you may be playing as it's out, and Alabama State has taken a 1-point lead. And now there's apparently conflicting views as to whether the point belongs to the Hornets or to the Jaguars. And now, indeed, it is Alabama State. But do you change your strategy?
I don't think so. I think you have to play with what got you here. But what you need to do is you got to perfect it. Because what got you here is what's consistent. And then, like I said, you just got to execute those plays at a little higher level when you get to this level of play.
Amber Bennett. Her serve was short-lived. Back over to the opposite side of the floor. Back set for Clark. Middle shot that provided by Amber Bennett. Outside, left side shot from Rachel Smith. And before Macias can deliver, there's a whistle.
That was great defense by Southern, but once again, referees are calling this game tight. They want to make sure that there's no advantage to either team, that they're just going to call a tight, classic, clean game.
Explain to the not quite as educated. Boy, that was a mammoth kill from Diamond Williams, but how does an official call it tight?
She's calling it, she's making sure any double contacts, and she's looking to her line judges to make sure that she is taking advantage of all of the assets that she has to make the best call. And then she's going to be consistent. What she calls on one side of the net, she's going to call on the other.
1-point advantage. It belongs to Alabama State. The largest lead of the match thus far, 2. Kind of gives you an indication of what we've had thus far.
Also gives us an indication that we're going to be here a long time today.
Ellen Jones with a serve. And that middle block extends the lead to 2.
Defense was all up at the net, so they were going to have, someone's going to have to stand back and play deep for balls that ricochet off the net.
Ellen Jones again serves. Right side delivery from Melanie Malone.
That was awesome. She went right through the block. Both hands were up, but she found a small spot, and she just got it through there. Both teams are playing solid volleyball.
I guess there's good reason for them both getting into the championship bout.
I think so. I think we have 2 great teams that really, really want to win, and they're going to give it their all out here today, as the score suggests.
Serve provided by Rachel Smith. It goes too far.
Number 7, she made sure of 7 to play that. And as the rule says, if it's over your shoulder and you're standing on the back line, that means the ball is out.
Due to APR requirements, we already know that Alabama State is into the tournament. Does that change anything in regards to your method of play?
I don't think so. I think Penny Lucas, again, is going to make sure her team plays it out, because any coach wants to win outright.
So not just going to the tournament, it's having that big piece of hardware with you when you do go that direction.
And it's the fact that you're on that roll, continuing to play the solid defense, the solid volleyball, as we take another step notch up to the NCAA.
There is a timeout on the floor. Let's take one as well. We have indeed got what we anticipated. A dandy 17-16 Jags. Back after this on the SWAC Digital Network.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
17-16 advantage, Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Alabama State, the Hornets, Jaguars of Southern University. 1-point advantage enjoyed by the Jaguars. Lorena Rosario's ready, the 5'10 junior from the Dominican Republic. And here is the serve from Mariah Clayton. Banged our direction. Well, you're a former volleyball player and former volleyball coach, that sure comes in handy when there's one headed this way.
I wanted to play just a little bit. I kind of reminisced a little bit that the ball was coming to me.
You smack the volleyball, I duck and hide.
I think it's our normal reactions.
Over it goes for Mariah Clayton. Would not drop in for Mila Marshall.
But we have a touch called on the other side of the net, so that point goes to Alabama State.
So scratch the one and add the other.
Oh, yeah.
Picked up by Williams. Shove across. Bennett back over. Trying to sneak one over was Phelan Clark.
That was an aggressive tip there by Southern. Didn't pan out because it seems that Alabama State, they were ready for that.
Two-handed shove over again by Clark. Nice dig, that was Macias.
Great defense. Great defense, and they're back in position.
Shove to the left side slam over by Malone. She was set up, and Leilai Matafeo.
She put that one down. That was a great jump set. Great jump set, and she was ready. She was already in the air when the ball was set. It had nowhere else to go but down.
Caught the top of the net, travels across. Nice dig by Bennett. Macias puts it on the top of the net. Left side hit, double block. Point awarded to Southern U.
Good job. It seems like everything is clicking on all cylinders for Southern University. They're trying to establish something by putting game one away, but they need 5 points to get there.
Picked up at the backcourt by Smith, and again, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast. Though that set may not get all the headlines, it sure is important to what you're going to do the rest of the way on your offense.
It establishes a tone, and you want to set that tone going in. Game one, okay, we got one under our belt. All we need is two when you get to that point. And I think Southern's playing well. Alabama State, don't count them out, though, because we've seen on several occasions that Alabama State is very resilient, and then they can come back with just that regular pass set kill and earn points.
Well, you got the deadly combination of having a team playing their best volleyball of the year at the end of the year. It is Southern University that comes in the unbeaten team, so they represent the winner's bracket on the side of the SWAC Volleyball Tournament. And then you couple in this certainly very partisan and understandably so crowd. I mean, you've got a lot of Southern U fans in the stands, and I think they've helped energize a bit the Lady Jaguars.
I agree. Southern even has their former coach, Coach Nathaniel Deneau, in the stands. He's standing proud because, again, these are products of Southern University.
Melody Malone with a serve that goes long, a service error.
And that's just what Alabama State needs, 1 point at a time. Stop that momentum.
Brooke Beasley will serve, the Winfield, Alabama product. Macias goes too long. Look back to the official, thought it might have caught some hornet fingertips, but did not.
I don't think that coaches are going to get that call tonight. I think they're just going to, kids are going to have to hit hard and hit in.
Tipped over, two-handed shove by Beasley. Macias again set up, and she got the kill through the block.
Powerful hit. Powerful hit. She used her block and she swung straight down. That momentum, that arm swing made it go straight down. And that's what you want, no return on the play.
Picked up in the backcourt by Coleman.
That was a bad set. Even though you can do a two-handed push on a third hit, it still has to be a clean hit. And the referee does have a judgment call if they want to make it.
Isn't that a tough call to make, though? It was on the opposite side of the floor.
But I think they only make it if it's just really obvious.
Down the line, off from Tiara Kelly.
And again, these are the mistakes that Alabama State are making that Southern is capitalizing on.
It is a noisy Seymour gym. The double block ends the first set.
Southern University goes up 1-0. And again, like I said, they're setting the tone. They're setting the standard.
An impressive opening set, 25-zip. These Lady Jaguars of Southern University, they don't want to play any more volleyball tonight. They'd be just content with wrapping it up with a championship in match number 1. We will head into set number 2 of this match between Alabama State and the Jaguars of Southern U after we take a timeout. This is the SWAC Digital Network.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas to form a sturdy, spirited association. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. From the southeastern region of the United States in Alabama to the second largest state in the country in Texas, the parishes of Louisiana through the Mississippi River, and the natural state of Arkansas. Students from all over the world demonstrate the ability to perform, achieve, and excel in scholastic activities. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. Create your world of contacts and friendships that last a lifetime. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We will always carry a spirit of respect and competition. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Boy, you gonna be in trouble this evening. You got a good man in front of you.
What makes a champion? It starts with desire. Then you need determination, because only one has the will to win. Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. Come and engage in the experience of the 2014 Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. The Toyota SWAC Football Championship. It all goes down on Judgment Day. For more information, visit www.swac.org. Honor the heritage.
Opening set victory for the home team, Southern University, and no surprise, the announcement of the first and second all-SWAC team. It involves a lot of young ladies who are on the hardwood tonight.
It does. It makes a difference when you look over the 2014 all-conference teams and Player of the Year and all of those honors. A lot of those young women are from Alabama State and Southern.
On that first team, Rachel Smith, Mila Marshall from Alabama State, Ellen Jones as well, Diamond Williams on the first team from Southern.
And Diamond Williams is showing us why she is Libero of the Year. She's having a great defensive game.
Ladies have swapped sides of the floor, but Jaguars do it on the other side, what they did on this side. Pick up the first 2 points of set number 2.
Now what I think Alabama State needs to do is they just need to settle down. I think they've kind of gotten out of their rhythm just a little bit.
Maybe the same crowd that has motivated the Lady Jags has kind of addled the Lady Hornets?
It looks like they're not playing together. They're kind of second-guessing themselves, and Coach Penny Lucas needs to settle her team down and tell them to get back to the basics of when they were doing pass set kill and earning points.
You mentioned, by the way, Diamond Williams, the Libero of the Year. Congratulations to Ellen Jones of Alabama State, Setter of the Year. Mila Marshall, Co-Player of the Year from Alabama State, along with Kaylee Fluke of Texas Southern, and the Newcomer of the Year, and a Kiso Prairie View A&M Freshman of the Year, Brianna Dorsey from Alabama State.
Southern now was just finding all of the holes in the Alabama State defense, and they're just making it work to their advantage.
But that's a big-time kill by number 12, Amber Bennett. And Amber's used to, she was player of the year, year before last, so she is used to, you know, making big-time plays. She just needs to find a way to energize her team.
Jamie Coleman with a serve. It is tipped over by Melanie Malone. Denied the kill as Kelly, and Southern U has put point number 4 on the board.
That's what a good setter does. You catch the team off guard, and you do that tip. They're not ready for it. Everything working in Southern's favor.
Marshall was trying to get that shove across for the middle part of the floor. It is tipped, battle on the net, picked up by Marshall to the backcourt. Wansang.
Great defense. Nice defense by Southern. Alabama State is still staying with it. They just need to put the ball down.
Picked up by Wansang from the right side. And unable to get the dig was Mariah Clayton.
Long volley, but that's what Alabama State is used to. They're used to the long volley, but in the end, they're used to being the ones that are earning the points.
Ellen Jones will serve. Largest lead in the opening set for Alabama State was 2. Sent down the line, but out.
Great hit. Great hit, just a little wide, but she's aiming for that line. Once again, defenses are going to have to make an adjustment on that cross-court defense and cover the line hit.
Here comes the back set to Lelaim Matafalo, and Alabama State grabs their first lead of set number 2.
And there we go. Just like that, rally point scoring has us back on the side. Alabama State back on the winning side. Block out, Alabama State point.
Matching their largest lead of the match. Set to the opposite side. The double block takes care of things, and in on the double block for Alabama State was Brianna Dorsey. Marshall was in the neighborhood as well.
That's a big time block. They were already there. They anticipated that the setter was going to go outside, and that's what Alabama State needs to get back on track.
SWAC Digital Network in Baton Rouge for the SWAC Volleyball Championship. We are back with more right after this.
Childhood pneumonia claims the lives of over 2 million children every year, but fresh hope is at hand. One pioneering scientist is using nanobiotechnology to isolate, target, and cure this global killer. When Dr. Sri Singh isn't fighting the world's deadliest diseases, he's teaching biology at ASU. When we teach class, the world takes note.
Though an impressive run late for Southern University, it has been a while since they have been to this championship game. As a matter of fact, their first appearance since 1998. Head coach Vanessa Jacobs was working in human resources for Mason Blanche, which is now Macy's. The last time Southern University appeared in the SWAC Championship.
But she's been a quality assistant for the former coach, and now she's earned the right to sit at that head. And I think she's doing an awesome job.
By the way, while she was doing that, she was coaching club ball.
So she was still in the sport.
Yep.
She was still sharpening her skills.
Three-point advantage, largest lead of the game for Alabama State.
And then they turn around with the great defensive play and the quick hit, and they're up by 4.
Doubling up on the Lady Jaguars. Ellen Jones serve, picked up in the backcourt by Clayton. Macias will tip it over. Setting up Dorsey.
They call that ball was hit outside of the antenna, so therefore that point goes to Southern. That was a great set. She got down to make sure that she placed it perfectly.
High into the rafters, but didn't catch the rafters. Came close. Sent to the left side, and Macias got the fingertips of Jamie Coleman on the way out.
Defense played just a little too shallow. She needed to back up. Libero was in the right place, but just a little bit too shallow.
2-point advantage. And Aim Atafao will serve. It's batted with a one-hand across by Clayton.
And referee calls the lift on the hit. It kind of rested in her palm just a little bit too long while she was trying to dink that ball. And I think that's just a good call that the ref made.
And then Aim Atafao will continue to serve. Wide on the shot. Rachel Smith aiming for a half cross-court shot, misfires.
She came from the left side. That was a T-top hit where the second player comes in. And it was a great hit had it been in.
Didn't take long for Southern University to get right back into this one. 4 in a row. Make it 5 straight.
Southern found what was working for them.
Shantia Carr makes it a 1-point Jaguar lead. They are on top by 1 and have scored 5 straight. A reminder, the countdown has begun to the 2014 Toyota SWAC Football Championship. It happens December 6th in Houston, Texas at NRG Stadium. To get your tickets and for more information, visit swacfootball.org. Back after this.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
5 straight for the Lady Jaguars. And now up by 1 when previously they were down by 4.
That's an impressive run. Alabama State needs to defend right here and earn this point. And they do.
Coach Point out of the timeout.
That's exactly what she was supposed to do. Make sure she set up her play that was going to earn them a point and stop Southern's momentum.
Rachel Smith with a serve across.
Great defense, bad set. Did roll off her hand, rested too long, and again, that's when I was talking about the referee making sure that she called a tight game. She's going to make sure that setting is perfect, and that if it's not, she's going to make that call.
2 in a row after the timeout. Set to the opposite side for Macias, and she sticks it into the net.
She was trying to hit angle, but she let the ball drop just a little bit too low.
11-9 lead, and the serve will continue for Rachel Smith. Malone with a two-handed shove across the right side. Looked like she was coming up for the kill and then made a last-minute decision to kind of lob it over and pays the price.
Yeah, I don't think she had enough momentum on her approach, so she was trying to play it safely, but it was just a little long.
Serve goes back over to Southern University, Phelan Clark. Currently ball on hip, so there's something going on at the scores table, a discussion.
Here's they have it straight now. We're ready to play.
Dropped into the corner. That was a good-looking shot.
It was. She was in the air, and she had already knew if you paid attention, she turned her complete body, her shoulders to the line, and that's where it went.
That awareness of knowing the open spots on the floor.
That takes a lot as a hitter when you're in the air to make that judgment call. That ball hit the antenna, and that's a point for Alabama State.
And the lead grows to 3. The serve into the hands of Mila Marshall. An overpass that's put back by Amber Bennett.
Alabama State goes up by 4 again.
Marshall again to serve.
She's having a field day with that line shot. Again, I think Southern is going to have to do something about that, and they're going to have to block that line, or at least block that player when she's up there, make an adjustment in that defense.
Alabama State doing what they got to do to take the lead, but also they're doing something else by taking the lead, and that's taking the crowd out of it a little bit.
Exactly. But I think we have an equal amount of Alabama State fans as well. So they came to support their team, which is always great. You play better when you play in front of friends and family.
Made the trip from Montgomery, Alabama. Timeout on the floor as Alabama State has dominated since calling the last timeout. Up by 7. Let's take a break and be back on the SWAC Digital Network.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
An impressive run by Alabama State, leading at 17-10, and Marshall will continue to serve. Packed house on the campus of Southern University at the Clifford Seymour Gymnasium, hosting volleyball since early yesterday morning. Double elimination tournament, and of course, the big surprise was Texas Southern's loss to Arkansas Pine Bluff.
I think so. I don't think anybody expected that except Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Texas Southern came in unbeaten in the West. Of course, Alabama State unbeaten in the East.
And it takes a lot when you're trying to be those #1 seeds. The Alabama State is coming back 19-10 to prove why they're a #1 seed on the eastern side.
What is the difference, though, between even that 4 or 5 point run that Southern University had and how Alabama State is playing now? Is it that State's pushed it up a notch, or is it that Southern U is not playing their game?
I think it's the fact that Alabama State regained the confidence that they didn't have. Like you say, the butterflies in game 1. As coaches, we don't like for players to say we're using game 1 as a warm-up, but it seems from game 2 that this is exactly what they're doing.
The lead is impressive. It is 9, 20-11.
Southern needs to stop. They now need to regroup, pass that kill, settle down, and play the kind of volleyball that got them to this point.
Brooke Beasley to serve. By the way, Erica Thompson, the 5'9" senior from Toledo, Ohio, on the floor for Alabama State.
It was a miscue between the setter and the hitter for Southern, but miscues are unfortunate at this point in the game, because then what Alabama State do is they earn another point.
And lead by double digits. The point has been awarded to the Hornets.
That was called a net hit. The referee, too, decided that it never crossed the net and therefore awarded the point to Alabama State.
Brooke Beasley again on the serve.
Brooke has an awesome serve. She has a short jump serve that's a floater. Very hard to defend, because once it goes across the net, it just kind of drops. So therefore, she has been given, that serve has given Southern a lot of inadequacy, so therefore they're trying to defend it.
So a lot of the problems starting with the serve.
If you have an awesome server and they can earn those points and your defense backs them up, you get the double-digit lead.
I know we got plenty of more sets to come. Can you overcome a 23-12? I mean, you can later, but can you in this set overcome a 23-12 disadvantage?
Have to be perfect. You have to be perfect. And you can only earn them one at a time. So let's see what Southern does. They've earned one.
And have gotten to within 10.
They have to respond.
Diamond Williams on the serve. Lob towards the opposite corner by Kelly.
Good
nice
defense.
pickup. Yep, off the net. Latamafeo.
Not near perfect. Got to be perfect. That was a great dink. Great awareness by Alabama State to know that the defensive player was shallow in the court, and they sent it to the back of the court.
Wan Sang serving for Alabama State. Off the double block, shove towards the corner. Wan Sang able to get there.
Great defense. That hit is long by number 2 for Alabama State. She had the right angle, just went long.
Clayton on the serve. It is hammered over, and the set comes to an end impressively as Tierra Kelly delivers.
Kelly wanted to let everyone know that it didn't. That last one was long, but she was going to make sure that this one was not. And that was a great hit by Miss Kelly.
We've wrapped up a couple. First one belongs to the Lady Jaguars. The second to the Lady Hornets. Let's see what's in store for set 3. We do that after we do this.
Boy, you gonna be in trouble this evening. You got a good man in front of you.
What makes a champion? It starts with desire. Then you need determination, because only one has the will to win. Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. Come and engage in the experience of the 2014 Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. The Toyota SWAC Football Championship. It all goes down on Judgment Day. For more information, visit www.swac.org. Honor the heritage.
Childhood pneumonia claims the lives of over 2 million children every year, but fresh hope is at hand. One pioneering scientist is using nanobiotechnology to isolate, target, and cure this global killer. When Dr. Sri Singh isn't fighting the world's deadliest diseases, he's teaching biology at ASU. When we teach class, the world takes note.
If you are looking for exciting academic programs, Southern University is the place for you. Southern University has maintained its legacy of excellence for more than a century by offering top-notch programs like nursing, business, and engineering. So join the thousands of graduates who call SU home and enjoy all the wonderful opportunities offered at Southern University and A&M College.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas to form a sturdy, spirited association. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. From the southeastern region of the United States in Alabama to the second largest state in the country in Texas, the parishes of Louisiana through the Mississippi River, and the natural state of Arkansas, students from all over the world demonstrate the ability to perform, achieve, and excel in scholastic activities. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. Create your world of contacts and friendships that last a lifetime. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We will always carry a spirit of respect and competition. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Robert Williamson, Dwyla Fisher here at the Southern University Clifford Seymour Gymnasium. It's the SWAC Volleyball Championships. It has been good thus far. Jags win the opening matchup. Hornets matchup number 2. Dwyla, looking at the stats, it's almost as if, in the pregame we talked about Marshall and we talked about Smith, but Amber Bennett with those 7 kills saying, hey, how about a little free palm?
I think that always happens. We choose to highlight some players, but then another player says, highlight me. And she does that by her play on the court. And she's certainly become what she already has been. She's been a dynamic player over the past year, and I think she's just re-emerging to what she has been doing all along, just playing solid volleyball.
And on the other side of the floor, we have gotten what we expected from Diamond Williams. You look over to the category that talks about digs, 8 of them. That's what she does and does best.
What I'm impressed with is Phelan Clark. She is not just setting one person, she is distributing the wealth, as we would like to call it. She is making sure that everyone is involved, all of her hitters. So therefore, Alabama State is not knowing where the hit's going to come from because she's setting back, middle, outside, and she's setting the 10s. So she's doing a good job.
Alabama State with an impressive set number 2. Did that kind of take the wind out of the sail of Southern University?
I don't think it took the wind out of the sail. Southern is still confident, but I think they got into like a slump. Once you get that slump of 4 or 5 points in a row, it's kind of hard to come back. They did. They rallied back at one point, but then Alabama State just kept pounding. They kept pounding. They weren't sending them anything easy. They were making Southern work for every point.
Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about football championship coming up on December 6th in Houston, Texas. Alcorn State has already punched their ticket. They are in. There is a mammoth game this week that will decide who Alcorn State plays for the SWAC Championship.
I agree. The history of the Bayou Classic is none other than what it is. It has always been that monumental game during the Thanksgiving holiday. I think there were so many people from Grambling and Southern that even live all over the country that start making that trek immediately after Thanksgiving is over. And this year, it actually is going to send that Western Division opponent to the championship. So I think it means mountains for that team that's going to win.
Going to be interesting. Will it be Alcorn State and Grambling, or will it be Alcorn State and Southern University in the SWAC Football Championship? We'll know in about 3 or 4 days, maybe a little beyond that, but we will know soon. Let's take a break, be back with more. This is the SWAC Digital Network.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Boy, you gonna be in trouble this evening. You got a good man in front of you.
What makes a champion? It starts with desire. Then you need determination, because only one has the will to win. Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. Come and engage in the experience of the 2014 Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. The Toyota SWAC Football Championship. It all goes down on Judgment Day. For more information, visit www.swac.org. Honor the heritage.
Started my Camry. Went to the auction. Won a storage locker. Found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas to form a sturdy, spirited association. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. From the southeastern region of the United States and Alabama to the second largest state in the country in Texas, the parishes of Louisiana through the Mississippi River, and the natural state of Arkansas, students from all over the world demonstrate the ability to perform, achieve, and excel in scholastic activities. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. Create your world of contacts and friendships that last a lifetime. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We will always carry a spirit of respect and competition. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Welcome back. We are getting set for set number 3. And set number 3, will it be a momentum shifter?
I think so. I think this is, like game 1, set 3 means just as much. As we get started, Beasley earns that point for Alabama State. Some miscommunication on the part of Southern, and Alabama State goes up 1-0.
Trying to tip it across, but unable to do so is Falon Clark.
I think Southern is going to have to make sure that they get it together. We have 2 sets, 2 miscommunications on the side of Southern.
Back set, and Kelly.
I think Beasley has found a new target for her sets in Miss Kelly, and Miss Kelly is making sure that she stays a target by putting all of those balls down.
Set to the front court, double block, brings it back, and the Lady Hornets up by 4 rather.
Perhaps Coach Jacobs is going to see if they can break this point right here and maybe use one of her timeouts early.
Back set, pulled back the trigger as if she was going to fire away and then just tipped it over.
Exactly, that was a very smart play. Her defense was already set up, so therefore she just used it to tip across. Great defensive play by Diamond, but it was unable to convert for Southern, so therefore another point is awarded to Alabama State.
5-1 advantage, Hornets with the lead. Dig by Southern U's Macias. In the backcourt, Williams. And it drops in. It's a 5-2 game.
Melody Malone made sure that that one went down. I think they're a little frustrated. They're a little unsure of themselves, and I think that Southern needs to make sure that they can just come together and play as a unit.
5-2 lead. Receives the dive, but Lelae Matafeo was the one that reached in and brought it back over.
But her dink was just a little long. She had the right idea. You always want to aim for the corners when you're trying to dink the ball, but sometimes unable to judge when you're in the middle of the court.
Into the net.
I'm not sure if I was a coach at this point. I may have called the timeout just to stop it because I don't.
You think there is a definitive momentum shift that started in the previous set, continuing in this one for Alabama State, which now leads it by 6, by the way?
I think so. Again, I repeat that I just think that Southern is playing unsure of themselves.
8-2 advantage for the Lady Hornets.
The first match, they knew who was going to hit the ball. They knew who was going to pass. They knew who was going to set. But now they're looking to each other to make plays instead of just doing what they know how to do and just make the play.
Malone with the serve. Hammered over by Kelly. Over to the scores table and tracking it down is Clayton.
There was a controversial call. The ball appeared to be out, but what happens is you're supposed to play till you hear the whistle. There's no catching the ball in volleyball. And I think regardless of the fact for Alabama State, you can't catch the ball if the whistle hadn't been blown.
Clayton wants her squad fired up. She came out onto the floor, feet stomping, and said, let's do it. A little frustrated at that momentum shift and that it stayed on the other side of the floor for so long.
So I think now the referee, she's going to talk to the line judge so he can determine whether or not the ball came back on Southern side or did it, in fact, come back on Alabama State side. And while we're a little off to the side, I would have to say that it came back on the Alabama State side, and that's why the young lady caught it. But again, you got to play till you hear the whistle, and there was no whistle.
Not that the officials are in their decision-making concerned with the crowd, but this place, if the point is not awarded to Southern University, it may erupt.
Yes.
And it's not. It's awarded to Alabama State.
As it should be, in my opinion. It clearly went on Alabama's side. In order for Southern to have played the ball, it should have went back on their side, and it did not. So I do think that the referees made the right call. She took the time to speak with the line judge, again, to collect every angle that she possibly can to make the right call.
Why the continuing discussion, though? The decision's been made. Obviously, she steps up, the official does, indicates the point awarded to the Hornets, but the continual discussion, what's it about?
As a head referee, it's her job to contain and control the game. So she's probably letting him know, please make sure that you watch for those types of things and when the ball is coming in so that we can make a definitive call and not have to go through any more discussion.
Call then was the official on the opposite side of the floor to make?
It was the line judge's call to make. The official stands behind the net, the pole. The down ref stands behind the pole from side to side, so it would be the call of the line judge to make. And then there's a timeout by Coach Jacobs, which I think is a good timeout.
So in the timeout, let's take a break too. It is a 9-3 Hornets lead. We're back after this on the SWAC Digital Network.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, Found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
9-3 advantage.
Alabama State has made some substitutions.
Served across by Ellen Jones. Maybe a little motivation for the Lady Jags.
Most definitely. When you hit the ball in, that's what you want to do. There's no question when you hit it in.
Serving is Malone. And we're still waiting for the official to give the indication the serve is
the captain went out, so therefore when the captain leaves the court, they have to issue a new captain.
Malone got a little frustrated with the wait.
It may be more so with the score and the fact that they're continuing to hit balls out, which result in points for Alabama State.
10-4 advantage, Hornets with the lead.
It's important for her to keep her cool, Frustration, breeds frustration. So she wants to keep her cool, get back in the game, and just play solid defense while she's on the back row.
And typically when you hear frustration, you do not hear an athlete playing their best. Frustration is a negative connotation from the standpoint of how an athlete performs on the field of play.
Most definitely. I think that these are talented young ladies, and they showed that in game one. But they're trying to regain the confidence that they had in game one in order to play.
There are still discussions going on the far sidelines.
And I'm not sure what the issue is at this point.
It seems to, and there again, just speculating from this side of the floor, it seems to center around the official, or at least he is part of every discussion.
And at this late juncture in the conference tournament, I'm sure that he's going to be. Again, they want to try to call a solid game, but I think Southern made some substitutions when it went to their libero tracking, where a libero may have come in and then the wrong person went out. There's been some exchange of players on the Southern side, so therefore they're going to have to try to work it out. Now what happens is, if it was an illegal substitution, then that point is awarded to Alabama State. But I agree, there has been quite a lot of discussion between the referees in this championship game.
10-4 advantage, Hornets on top of the Lady Jags of Southern University. Discussion between officials, and in on the conversation was Macias for Southern U, as well as Ellen Jones for Alabama State.
And of course, as any good coach was, Coach Lucas wants to make sure what's the holdup. Her player is back there being iced as she's ready to serve. So again, frustration on both parts. I think if the referees can just get control of the game, and then we can go on. But now we're going to have a lineup check on the part of Southern to make sure that they have all of the right players on the court and that they're in the right positions.
.10-4 advantage in action after a lengthy delay will resume. Hammered, aiming for the other corner, the deep corner, it goes out.
Now it's up to Southern to execute. It's up to them. They're getting the hits, they're getting the sets. They need to execute the plays.
Clayton with a bounce pass up front from the left side. It goes out. Left side shot was provided by Clark. But Alabama State goes out, and it's now an 11-5 ball game.
I think everybody may need to settle down in this game so we can get back on the volleyball track here. Just seems like that hiatus kind of get everybody kind of cold. perhaps we can begin again.
It has seemingly put a lull in the action. High-intensity game, but two very lengthy discussions between officials. You got two hits on one side of the floor, an argument from Aguirre. But even from this vantage point, it certainly looked like she got it with the left and the right hand.
Exactly. I think Coach Jacobs was arguing that it was touched by Alabama State player, but it was not.
12-5, Alabama State lead. Tipped over the block. And then an overpass on the opposite side that sails out of bounds.
I believe this game, I would call this one as interesting at this point.
Quite. 13-5 game. Alabama State will serve. Over to the left side.
And Southern finally gets a kill. Perhaps it can start the momentum that they need.
And make it a 7-point ball game, 13-6, as Macias will serve. Set, picked up by Williams.
Good defense.
Outside hitter goes long. Did it catch fingertips on the way out? It did not, and the advantage now 14-6 Alabama State.
Melanie Malone is such a powerful hitter. Small in stature, but big in talent. And she's just trying to hit between that block, which she did, but that one was long.
Brooke Beasley on the serve. Set to the opposite side of the floor. Aiming for the corner and delivering. Nice shot from Chelsea Scott.
At this point, it appears that Alabama State is really just having their way. They're hitting from every spot on the court. They are utilizing everything, and nobody called the timeout, and that is a point. This is very interesting.
Wow, I have never seen some of the things that we have seen in this one.
This is going to be interesting to see what this call is. It appears that one referee called the timeout and that the other referee said that it was not a timeout and she had already signaled for the serve, which means once she signals, the ball must be served.
And it was served without a single jag on the floor. Okay, you've been around volleyball more than I. Have you ever seen?
I'm going to say I've never seen that. But I do think it's about miscommunication between sometimes a coach is trying to ice the server, but if the referee has already motioned for the ball to be served, then and the timeout doesn't come in time, then she must serve. And that's about, the players have to pay attention. Can't lead till the ball is served, and you can't stop play until the whistle, you hear the whistle. So.
Well, now the official took the point off the board and has asked for a reserve. Penny Lucas White now understandably arguing the fact when the point was originally awarded. The official indicated the point was awarded. Now that's been taken off the board and play will resume. And it's a 15-7 game.
And that was a great kill by Melody. Malone is ready. She's aggravated, but yet she needs to put that in her play, and that was a great hit, and that's what she did.
Having a cross kill administered. Chelsea Scott doing the damage.
And they come right back to shut that down.
Now a 16-7 ball game. The advantage belonging to Alabama State, and the serve will go back over to the Lady Hornets. Well, then although the point wasn't awarded, albeit no point awarded, so I guess from a volleyball perspective, it didn't occur. But you not having ever seen such.
Not having ever seen something in about 25 years, I'd say.
makes tonight a very interesting night in more ways than one.
It does. It does. But I would probably have to say if the referees couldn't agree, then you do what? You do, in fact, award a do-over in a sense and take the point away because it appears as the team clearly thought it was a timeout call.
16-8 advantage. Clayton with the serve. Picked up on the opposite side by Coleman. Left side hit administered by Smith.
And that was blocked out of bounds by Alabama State. Point Southern. Let's see if they can use this to get back on track.
16-9. Launched over by Clayton. Tipped over the block.
Smart play by Bennett. She saw that the defense was playing long for the hit, and she just tipped it right over the middle blocker, right into the hole.
17-9 advantage. Alabama State. They will serve, and into the net it goes from Jamie Coleman.
This would not be a good time for Alabama State to have service errors because Southern is fighting their way back into this game.
There's that lady that you talked about between sets, Tierra Kelly. She has been very effective the last time we saw Alabama State and today as well.
Tierra Kelly took advantage of the single block and the middle blocker, not quite getting to the sideline. Get hit by Alabama State.
Kill, and you can credit it to Leila Matafeo.
Yeah, there was no block up there on that one, and all Alabama State could do was play defense. They got the ball up, but it was into the net. Still a substantial lead by Alabama State, but they need to sustain it. And once again, the setter has a double hit, and the referee is still making those tight calls on the sets.
18-12 advantage. Hornets with a lead.
Timeout, Alabama State. They don't want to allow Southern to get back in this game.
Timeout on the floor. Let's take a break. We are the SWAC Digital Network.
Boy, you gonna be in trouble this evening. You got a good man in front of you.
What makes a champion? It starts with desire. Then you need determination, because only one has the will to win. Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. Come and engage in the experience of the 2014 Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. The Toyota SWAC Football Championship. It all goes down on Judgment Day. For more information, visit www.swac.org. Honor the heritage.
18-12 the advantage. Hornets with the lead, but the Jags will be serving. Over to the opposite side of the floor.
That was an awesome block, and it went to the very back of the court. That's what Southern needed. That's the momentum that they needed.
And it was Clark that administered the awesome block. 18-13.
That's two mistakes by Alabama State that have energized Southern, and they only are down by 4.
18-14 game.
But that's a big-time kill. Big-time kill by Alabama State to slow down that momentum.
19-14 ball game as the serve is presented by Rachel Smith. Yep, I'd say they're fired up.
Oh, yeah. That's a good hit. That's a good hit. She made sure that that was a non-returnable ball. Now, the key for Southern is to earn more than 1 point at a time, to try to get some type of rally going so that they can cut into that deficit.
19-15 game. And the official over to the scorer's table again. And granted, the officials, I know, want to get everything right. I understand that. But at this particular point now, the magnifying glass is on the officials. And even instances that were normal, you take normal delays as the kill is administered, they're getting the attention of the fans.
Right. I think that at some point the referee that's taking score, they have to notify teams of when they have reached that 10 substitution mark, and that's what happened at that point.
It is blocked, but blocked out by Brianna Dorsey.
Southern is still hanging around. This game is not out of reach. If they can continue to earn more than 1 point at a time, they can cut into this lead.
2016 advantage. It drops in. It's a 21-16 game for Alabama State.
Alabama State is not taking it lightly. They are going for every kill when sets are up. Setters are doing a great job for Alabama State of moving that ball around, making sure that everybody is involved.
21-16 ball game, tipped to the front court. It is hammered across, picked up in the backcourt by Coleman.
Solid defense.
The kill.
Solid defense by the double quick hit, and it's designed to do exactly what it does. You don't know who the setter is going to hit because you got a hitter coming in the front and the back.
21-17 game. Williams with a serve. Coleman picks it up. Hammered over. Bennett.
Amber Bennett is awesome. That's the type of player that she is. And she does it with ease. She makes it look effortless. I think now we actually do have a timeout by Southern University.
With the timeout, let's talk about the SWAC Digital Network basketball schedule. The SWAC Digital Network schedule is now set with 4 games featuring Grambling at Prairie View on January 19th. Prairie View at Texas Southern. We're heading to Fishertown on the 7th of February. Alcorn State takes on Arkansas Pine Bluff on the 16th of February, and then Mississippi Valley State at Jackson State. That happens on the 28th day of February. Certainly not trying to cut short the volleyball season. We got a dandy one in progress and more to come, but
basketball season's already started. Everybody's out there on the road trying to return home before they start those conference games.
And we will be at it on 4 nights for the SWAC Digital Network. Served by Scott. Malone sends it across, heads this direction.
It's Amber Bennett once again. It seems like she's just picking out spaces where there are no defenders, and she's putting the ball down.
(23-17) Alabama State.
And that's a bad set. Bad set by Southern. And Alabama State goes up 24-17.
Couple of hits, one player. Continuing to serve is Chelsea Scott, and she serves into the net.
Crucial time to serve into the net. But they still have some leeway with a 6-point lead.
Clayton will serve. There's already been one set point save, trying to do another Jags. It is sent to the back court, and chasing it down is Scott, but just got a hand on it, that's all.
Perfect play from Southern is what's going to be required to earn these next 7 points.
24-19 advantage. Back set. Over and off Macias. We have wrapped up set number 3. And it is Alabama State now leading it 2-1. They want to be playing at 7 o'clock or thereabouts tonight in a
again, I would have to agree with them. If you want to call me a winner and a champion, I would prefer that you do it with me winning outright. I don't want any asterisks by my name. I don't want any of those things. I want to be a true champion. And that's what Penny Lucas has instilled in her team.
And, of course, Southern University saying, hang on, guys, just a second. We plan on winning this. And
it's not over. A lot of volleyball to come.
That's right. It's been interesting. And over the last couple of sets, it's been Alabama State. Back with more after this.
You gonna be in trouble this evening. You got a good man in front of you.
What makes a champion? It starts with desire. Then you need determination, because only one has the will to win. Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. Come and engage in the experience of the 2014 Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. The Toyota SWAC Football Championship. It all goes down on Judgment Day. For more information, visit www.swac.org. Honor the heritage.
Nearly a century ago, 6 academic institutions joined each other in Houston, Texas to form a sturdy, spirited association. Since that time, they've developed to become one of the leading collegiate athletic associations in the world, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. From the southeastern region of the United States in Alabama to the second largest state in the country in Texas, the parishes of Louisiana through the Mississippi River, and the natural state of Arkansas, students from all over the world demonstrate the ability to perform, achieve, and excel in scholastic activities. Be a part of history. Be a part of the SWAC experience. Stand and be counted among the best in academics, athletics, music, stewardship. Create your world of contacts and friendships that last a lifetime. We are proud of our past and value our traditions. We will always carry a spirit of respect and competition. We are the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Honor the heritage.
Started my Camry. Went to the auction. Won a storage locker. Found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner. Reunited them. Hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
We are back. It is the SWAC Championship. Volleyball Championship here on the SWAC Digital Network. Southern University down 2-1 to Alabama State.
So the University trying to make a comeback from being down by 1 set. And they started with a block. I think it's important for them to get started. They have to get some momentum going with this first serve.
One nothing advantage. Southern University trying to regain that form that produced a opening set victory. And the roll shot goes over the block for Tiara Kelly.
Tiara Kelly's doing a great job. She is making the most of every set, and she is trying to make sure that she's making quality plays at the right time.
Tied in one apiece. setting up to the left side. Macias reached over, tried to tip it across, but tipped it out. And Alabama State now with the 2-1 advantage. Meanwhile, going back to serve is Scout Wansang. Over to the opposite side, got the block. And you know, you talk about Kelly and her offense. There you got to talk about Kelly and her defense.
Kelly's doing a great job. I think her and Bennett with that senior leadership from having played in a conference championship match is making a difference.
Out it goes, 4-1, Alabama State.
And Alabama State's game plan should be not to make errors. Let Southern University make the errors, and they just continue to play their solid style of volleyball.
Picked up after it rolled over the net's top by Smith. Into the backcourt, Wansang, and there's the kill. It is administered by Bennett. And I don't know what set number 1 did to Alabama State, but it certainly woke up a sleeping giant.
And it appears that they got restful sleep.
Yeah.
Because they came out ready to play games 2, 3, and 4.
Leading at 5-1. Dig by Beasley, and it's popped over, and the lead continues to grow.
That's a great hit. That's a great hit. Southern needed to stop that 4-1 run that Alabama State was on, and they did it with a big kill.
Five-2 advantage. Alabama State, it is nearly to the exit. And it's a 6-2 Alabama State lead.
That was Kelly. Kelly is trying to make her presence known here, and I think she's doing a fine job at it.
Back over the serve goes to Coleman.
Good defense, sitting on the line, waiting for the hit.
Roll shot by Kelly. Steps up, gets the double block, but it is sent back over, and Wansang picks it up in the backcourt.
That was an awesome block. Her hands were extended well over the net, but it was just out of bounds.
Ekwirarine pops it out, 7-2 lead, Alabama State. Coleman's serve just clears the top of the net. Got the block put back over by Marshall.
That was a good block. They were already there. Defense is already waiting. They know that Tu's been the big hitter. Malone has been that big hitter for Southern. So now what they're doing is they're just keying on her. Whenever that set goes outside, they're already there.
Timeout on the floor. It's an 8-2 lead, and that lead belongs to Alabama State. Back on the SWAC Digital Network.
Started my Camry, went to the auction, won a storage locker, found an old guitar. Tracked down the previous owner, reunited them, hit the jackpot.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
8-2 advantage, Alabama Southern. Coleman ready to continue serving as Alabama State continues to impress after an unimpressive opening set by Alabama State. Impressive for the Lady Jaguars of Southern.
That was a good set.
There are shots that misfire, and then there are shots that misfire badly. And
I would categorize that one in the latter.
That's right. It would certainly be the latter.
Yeah, she was trying to roll shot it, but it just caught the bottom end of her hand. But that doesn't help that Alabama State doesn't capitalize on that error and serves the ball out of bounds.
Badly as well.
Badly as well.
9-3 advantage, Alabama State. Williams with a serve for Southern University.
That was a bad set. Double contact by Alabama State, awarding the point to Southern University.
Brooke Beasley with the double touch. Williams will continue to serve in a 9-4 game.
She has such a powerful jump serve.
Trying to go cross court, but just a little too deep, looking for the deepest spot on the floor.
I would have to say that's probably Kelly's first error, if I can recall, because she's just been on point the entire game, the entire match, really.
9-5 Hornet lead. The overpass, and that's the problems you get when you do so.
That's right. And rally point scoring has Southern only down by 3 points.
9-6 game, and the serve will continue for Diamond Williams. Tipped over, but I believe that is going to be, it is a Southern University point.
Southern fans are starting to get back into it. Alabama State needs a defensive point right here.
Odd how that seems to happen. The team picks it up a notch. Oh, there's that service error that we've talked about broadcast after broadcast. You really could do without those from a coach perspective.
At such crucial times. You don't want to make a service error when the momentum is on your side of the ball.
10-7 score. Tipped over the double block, and it's a 10-8 game, Alabama State.
That was a smart play. She saw that defensive person was playing long, and she made sure to put it right there at the 10-foot line.
Too long with the serve. Not the same kind of service error, same results though.
Most definitely. You want to make sure you put it in, and that's back-to-back service errors for Southern.
And 11-8 game.
Right, and to get back in the game, you don't want to have any of those.
Wow. We have seen in this set 3 really off their mark shots. 2 serves and 1 attempted kill.
These two teams have played some really tough volleyball, so I would have to say at some point they might be starting to wear down.
11-9 ball game. Alabama State with a lead, and it improves to 12-9.
And what we have to understand is that they've been playing volleyball, solid volleyball, for 2 straight days against some tough opponents in order to get to this point in the tournament.
Mila Marshall with a serve. It is shoved over the one hand into the backcourt. Clark.
That's a good dump. I don't think anybody was ready for that, and that's what a setter is supposed to do. She's supposed to give that surprise, and that surprise normally ends in points.
12-10 score. Over to the opposite side, aiming for the corner and picking it up in the backcourt. That is Malone. Looked like she was on her way to retrieve, and then Clark just couldn't get there.
And that was a good volley on both sides of the net. There was defense, there was offense, there was pickups, there was powerful hits, but you hate when it ends in just miscommunication like that. But normally if you're the setter, that second ball belongs to you.
13-10 score. Alabama State with a lead and with a serve. It is Beasley who will serve it across. Two-handed shove over by Clark.
Beasley's there too.
Out it goes.
Alabama State, long. We still have a ball game here. Southern still has the opportunity to get back in this game.
13-11 score. Back set way over to the opposite side of the floor, and hammering it into the net was Chelsea Scott. 13-12 game.
Timeout, Alabama State. And I think if I was a coach, I would have called one too, because we have a 1-point lead, whereas we had a 6-point lead.
13-12. We want to keep it right here with a reminder that championship football is coming up on December 6th. Alcorn State is into the championship. Question is, who will the opponent be? Will it be Grambling or will it be Southern University? Dawson Odoms is here, and he's watching volleyball. And Dawson Odoms, obviously the head coach of Southern University, and well, he's got a big game coming up this weekend. We talked about the Bio Classic. And that Bio Classic will determine who indeed plays Alcorn State
for that SWAC championship. I think that's the great thing about SWAC volleyball. You have all sports supporting each other. You know, everybody ultimately wants everyone to win in each sport, and that's the camaraderie that these schools have.
And the Bio Classic, which is always huge, just a little more huge or huger.
Yeah, I think it's going to have some adverse effects this year. Every point's going to count. That Southern was in the net on that play, which awards the point coming out of the timeout, which is what Coach Lucas wanted, her team to earn that point.
And it's a 14-12 game. Alabama State with the lead. Got a little perspiration on the floor that's got to be administered to before we can resume action.
Players have been playing, as I say, all day, and then we've been here. This has been quite a long match. And we're not sure if we can see the end in sight. Southern would not like to see the end in sight, and they're rallying back.
Macias with a shot across. Coleman picks it up. Kelly! Blocked, but blocked out.
Kelly is playing with a vengeance. She's playing with a vengeance.
15-12 game. Coleman with a set, aiming for the corner. It goes out.
Southern in the net again. Number 20, Shantia Carr, she's making some costly errors for her team. She's trying to make sure she gets to that spot so that she can block. But when she's getting there, she's catching the top of the net and she's going up.
16-12 game. Alabama State with a lead. Wansang with a serve. Back set tipped over by Kelly. Nice dig by Malone.
And great set by the libero for Southern. She was able to pick that ball up.
Over it goes to Kelly. And again.
Kelly finds a way to put it down.
Clark
and that's a free ball from Southern. And what free ball means to a coach is a free hit for the other team.
Toss this direction, and
although it's a good game, we're going to sit over here. We're not going to play this time.
Well, they tossed it this way. I thought maybe that was an invitation. Wansang serves across. Kill. It almost looked like a frustration kill. It's like, you know what?
But that's what's supposed to happen. That was a perfect pass where the setter did not have to move. She didn't take a step. And when the hitter came right to her, she put it down.
Macias on the serve, set to the opposite side of the floor with a left hand. It's shoved over by Smith.
And there's Bennett again.
18-13. Alabama State with a lead over Southern University.
I'd almost have to say Amber she's kind of putting on a clinic for middle blockers and telling them where to move, where to hit.
Trying to pull it off the net, but unable to do so was Clark. And it's now a 19-13 game. And a timeout on the floor. With the timeout, we are going to take a break as well. SWAC Digital Network is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for the Volleyball Championships.
Boy, you gonna be in trouble this evening. You got a good man in front of you.
What makes a champion? It starts with desire. Then you need determination, because only one has the will to win. Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. Come and engage in the experience of the 2014 Toyota SWAC Football Championship Weekend in Houston, Texas, December 6th at NRG Stadium. The Toyota SWAC Football Championship. It all goes down on Judgment Day. For more information, visit www.swac.org.
Block.
19-14 advantage.
For Alabama State, as Southern libero serves. Tiara Kelly pounds one across the net once again.
Into the net, 20-14 to score. Alabama State now with the 6-point advantage. You know, we were talking about the SWAC championship in football that happens. There's one of the guys who's not, I guess, thinking about football right now, but Dawson Odoms is watching volleyball. I think in the back of that head, though, there's a little fall on football.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. He's going to devote this Sunday here to volleyball, but early Monday morning, he's going to get up and he's going to focus his efforts again on winning that Bayou Classic to get to that championship game.
21-14 advantage. What a year he's had. What a year last year. Got to the championship a year ago. Won it all. And they're back in position to get back again.
And that's wonderful. To say that you back-to-back, that actually means something. That means that you took a different group of young men and you molded them in order to return back to that championship game.
22-14 game. It is out of Coleman's reach. One Sang tries to track it down. Can't get to the corner either.
Well, that's good hustle. She knew where it was going. She just didn't quite react fast enough. So Southern again here making that push.
22-15 advantage as Clayton will serve, and it is
shanked high off of Alabama State.
Passed the wrong direction. Smith passed it to the brick wall behind instead of to the ladies on the opposite side of the floor. 22-16 lead. Clayton on the serve.
Again, I just think that Southern is waiting for someone else to make the play. Their players are playing just a little unsure of themselves. The confidence that they had in game one, I just don't see it in game four, in set four.
Alabama State, the 23-16 advantage. Tipped over, picked up nicely by Malone on the opposite side of the floor. Malone will one-hand it over.
No block, and that's what she's supposed to do with no block. She's supposed to pound it.
And Chelsea Scott did as instructed.
As a hitter, that's the one thing you want to see is that there's no block up there when you're going up to hit.
Battle on the net. And that battle won by Southern U. 24-17 game.
Match.
Right here, 2-1 lead, Alabama State. Bats in sets, and if you're going to play again a little bit later on, then opponents have got to do that.
That's what you do. That's what you do.
Drew a smile from Penny Lucas White.
As it should. Because when you deliver a ball that's unreturnable, that means you're going on to play this second match.
So there will be more volleyball tonight at Southern University, as Alabama State now has a loss. Southern University has a loss. It's a double elimination tournament. Somebody goes, somebody stays. Somebody becomes the SWAC champion, and somebody finishes runner-up. We'll know a little later on, I would say about 7:15 roughly, about a 30-minute time span from now. We will be back on the SWAC Digital Network for what now becomes the championship
match. Yes, sir.
So thank you very much for being on the other end of the broadcast. This is the SWAC Digital Network. Alabama State has forced what is, in essence, the if game. Doyle Fisher and Robert Williamson, so long for the SWAC Digital Network.
Dedicated to the world famous legendary